This is a quick thought on how to hedge against inflation. A lot of people are running in different directions thinking about investing their 401ks into, maybe money market accounts to hedge against inflation. Some people are not worried at all and they're riding the wave and hoping that the market will continue to do good. Um, some people really don't know what to do. They're not very tuned into the market and they're in a state of panic as far as what to do with their money. And a couple of things have occurred to me. I am not a financial advisor. However, I was a loan officer back in 2008 when the first, big financial crisis happened, and it never really stopped. It only continued beyond that point to get worse, and a lot of people didn't realize that. They uh, they they bought into it over and over and over again. I feel like there's a lot of sheeple that are just following the crowd and they're willing to do things like this, and it's really scary, unfortunate, and frightening when I try to have a little hope in humanity. Um, let's not get too far off topic. I wanted to mention a couple of things that I don't think people are considering. Everybody's talking about throwing their money into precious metals or perhaps investing and making sure that they've got a good diversified portfolio in a few different sectors. And everybody's wanting to invest in artificial intelligence. And there's the new barium sulfite paint that came out. And a lot of these companies that you think would be doing good are not actually doing that great. It's still a very double-edged sword, risky environment. Whether you're going to be throwing all of your, lifetime retirement savings into the stock market, which used to feel a lot safer, uh, or whether you're trying to go after precious metals. One way or the other, I don't think anybody's focusing enough on what got the richest Americans the most money all throughout history, which is real estate. And another double-edged sword, because I think there's a good amount of people that caught on to that, and the natural greed of people to want to get out of a system that seems inescapable. You know, it's really unfortunate because all of these house flippers and Airbnb and everybody that wanted to invest in these REITs and support big parts of the market, Redfin, BlackRock, all these Zillow, all these companies that were buying whole neighborhoods and trying to turn all the houses into renters. It all got out of control, and at the source of all of it is greed, and it's not caring about what kind of an impact you're going to leave on everybody else when you find your way out of the trap. Um, so I think it's time that we become a little bit more innovative. And it occurs to me that people aren't talking enough about, technologies that have been being developed over the last decade or more that are amazing technologies. Um, Aircrete is one of them. And a lot of people don't know this, but you can build homes, you know, without building them in dome formations out of this new material called Aircrete that they've been developing over the last decade or more. And they put epoxies and resins and steel fibers, fiberglass fibers, and things into this concrete mixture to make it super strong and crack proof and weatherproof, and these structures don't mold, and they don't flood, and they don't catch on fire, and they're insect proof. They don't have problems being you know really anything. They hold energy well. They stay cool during the summer, and they stay nice and warm and insulated during the winter. And this is a very cool technology. A lot of people don't realize that you can build very affordably without having to worry about toxic materials that rot in the rain and get eaten by termites. Um, it's really ridiculous out there that everybody's followed the leader into this stick-built home industry These houses cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to build, and by the time you're done paying them off, you got to take out another loan just to repair them. They're maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. I think people should start thinking about places in the country that are offering free land. They actually do exist right now. They have a couple of rules as far as getting that free land, as far as how large of a home you need to build in order to have it, and how long you need to stay on that property. But there's very you know good land in this country that people have not considered for a very long time, just because it was in some of the more less desirable areas, I should say. One way or the other, if that land is free and full of resource, well water and things like that, these are things that I think people should consider. Don't drop $30,000 on 1 acre of land in an expensive part of town. Go find some free land, or go find an acre of land or a half acre of land. It doesn't have to be enough giant. Make it enough. Make sure it's usable land. What's the point in having 5 acres of land if you can only use 1 acre of it? So do some investigation and think about some alternatives. When you build with aircrete, it's approximately, the last I think I saw a quote on it was about $10,000 for 1,000 square feet. Even a 2,000, 3,000 square foot home is plenty of room for one or two people. I've seen smaller homes shelter more people than that. So, there are more affordable ways of doing things. These aircrete structures, they can be built in 2 or 3 days time. They come in, they blow up, balloon type forms that they can then, create a lattice of rebar and spray concrete on top of. They're beautiful on the inside. They're plastered on the inside, and if you YouTube it or maybe Google it, you'll see some images on Google that might inspire you. They don't have to be built like domes. They can be built like a regular structure, cinder block style, and it's really a pretty cool technology. But again, it's about avoiding all of the cost of modern building materials and cost of building with those materials on site, and thinking more ingenuitive about how to make better use out of the money that we have, especially while it's being devalued like it is at the rate that it is. So again, there's options out there. And I think one of the safest options is real estate. It's what's got most rich people in our country where they are, but you don't have to abuse it. You don't have to, flip houses and charge people ridiculous amounts of rent. You don't have to, join the crowd and try to retire quick off of everybody else's backs when people are just trying to come up in the world and find a more amicable way of living and getting through this. Some of us might not ever get to retire, and we would just like to be able to live a little bit more affordably while we're getting through this. So again, try to think of your fellow man when you're trying to make money off of a system that has obviously been broken from all of the greed in all different directions. There should be some things that capitalism can't touch. There should be a balance, in my opinion. I don't think we should be able to charge $60,000 over MSRP for a vehicle. When I was a loan officer 10 years ago, there were terms being thrown around like predatory lending, and it occurs to me in my head, why don't they throw those terms around with the auto industry? Why don't they throw those terms around with the credit card industry? It seems like everybody is so willing, over the years to jump on the banks when it comes to mortgages and say things like predatory lending, but it didn't seem like it lasted long or that it went too far. So I encourage everybody to take a second look at their intentions and how they're going about getting their goals accomplished, and try to reformulate a better way of getting there that is not going to hurt others so much, and not take advantage of the things that people really need. Because I'll tell you what, if you don't have a home, um, the difference of being a slave to rent your whole life and where you're going to be able to eventually get in life versus the difference of having a home and something that's paid off and the ability to put your money into your desires and your dreams and being able to live life a little bit. That's what people really need. They need some quality of life, and living paycheck to paycheck your whole life because you never had a chance to get a start. Maybe your parents didn't help you get that far. Maybe you came from a rough background with some troubles with the law. Maybe you didn't get the right education. There's a million and one reasons why there's a lot of people out there that are still struggling to get to that point, and it makes a huge difference in quality of life when your you know major portion of your income is not going to paying somebody rent. If it was instead going toward things that you wanted to accomplish, and enjoying life a little bit, you would pick different jobs. I believe you wouldn't work the jobs that you work. A lot of it is attached to this. So let me know your thoughts. I hope to hear a lot of feedback on this. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll be back soon. Have a great night.